Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Awards Watch Oscar podcast. I'm your host, Eric Anderson, and with me today, I have Gold Rush gang member Julia. Hello, Julia.
Hello, Eric.
How are you today?
I'm great. I'm
Ex-
exhausted, but I'm great.
I am sure you are. Lots of travel for
Oh,
both of
yeah.
us this last week. All right, this is our 47th podcast. It is Sunday, January 15th, and we are a week out from last week's Golden Globe winners. And in the middle of that, and now we had the BAFTA nominations, the PGA nominations, and the DGA nominations. So lots to talk about, lots to worry about, and let's get right underway. We weren't able to do a quick post Globe podcast, so we're just going to try and talk a little bit about that night now, and kind of see how big was that seven Globe win for La La Land. It was certainly more than people expected. It broke the all-time record that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest had 41 years ago. So I guess they kind of liked it. What do you think, Julia?
Well, they certainly did, but I'm not so sure it was a good thing for La La Land as far as Oscars go.
So you think there might be not necessarily a backlash, but sort of a maybe this was just a little too much?
I think so, yes. I mean, if you listen to the Ann Thompson podcast from maybe 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
she has reported that in the industry, a lot of people are watching La La Land and saying, oh, that's it? And I don't think breaking the all-time record for most Globes win actually helps them. But that might be because I personally wasn't all that impressed by La La Land, so we'll
Um,
see.
all right, so who do you think benefits then from a potential, again, not backlash, but just a feeling of, you know, maybe too much is too much?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it actually affects for Best Picture
Mm-hmm.
because the alternative would be Moonlight, and I still can't see Moonlight winning with this Academy.
I can't either, and not with the this balloting.
Yes, exactly.
So I think maybe with the current Academy and the old type of balloting, it could have. But I don't know. I still feel that Lala has just uh, it's too difficult a path. I think almost to be stopped at this point.
Yeah.
But
Now watch Weinstein win with Lion or something.
yeah, really, he's lucky he's where he's at with it now. But
Oh yeah, absolutely.
um, well, I mean the thing about the Globes and just the nonstop La La Land wins were. I mean, I think all of us were expecting probably four or five, and that was pretty easy. Like it was going to win picture and director and actress and actor, and that was pretty easy. And then maybe score or song, not both, that kind of thing. And then it just kept going and going. And then screenplay was probably the bigger surprise of anything. I have to
That's
think.
don't even get me started.
Yes, going up against, Moonlight and Manchester, which were by far the favorites that night. So I'm wondering if looking at, the future and, Writers Guild, if something like Manchester, since that will be going up against La La Land, is in a better place because of that Globe win.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think so too.
While I don't think it will affect Best Picture, I think it might affect other categories, especially directing and writing.
Hmm. Yeah, otherwise he'll have 35 Oscars, that 32-year-old Damien Chazelle. Goodness gracious. All right, let's talk about some of the surprises. There were two really, really big surprises. Obviously, the very first thing that kicked off the Globes with that Aaron Taylor Johnson win over Mahershala Ali. And, like, okay, so, like, what in the actual fuck How did that happen?
Well,
How did it even happen?
the HFBA loves their perfumes, I guess.
Yes, but I mean that was the funny thing was that when the nominations came out, and we were all kind of giggling at all the Nocturnal Animals stuff, and then the perfume controversy, and we're like, okay, well then there's no way it's going to be able to win anything in the face of this, bribery.
They just don't care.
But they just didn't care. They
It
didn't
just
care.
doesn't for them. They're gonna do what they want to do.
And then there you go.
We actually can't read too much into it because they'll do their thing.
Yeah, definitely, and that's one of the fun things about the Globes. It's what makes it such a fun show to watch, and definitely a fun show to watch in a group, as we did again this year,
With a lot of gin and tonic.
With a lot of gin and tonics and champagne.
And champagne.
But it's not going to escape me that Aaron Taylor-Johnson's win isn't necessarily just a fluke, because even though the Globes are not, industry, they're not AMPAS voters or anything like that. The last time a winner in that category did not get an Oscar nomination was 1975. And that was a really extenuating circumstance situation. That was Richard Benjamin for the Sunshine Boys, and Walter Matthau and George Burns were both put in lead at the Globes. They both won, but then at the Oscars, they put George Burns in supporting, and he won. And Benjamin didn't get nominated. So it's a pretty extenuating circumstance when you consider that it's been that long. So I look at Johnson as a very, very realistic nominee, not as a spoiler to win or anything wackadoodle like that. But I can absolutely see him getting in now. Where are you on that? Am I on a lonely island there?
Well, I think it really will depend on how AMPAS will see Nocturnal Animals. And I honestly have no idea how well or how poorly it will be received by them. Because I think we are all assuming that if Aaron Taylor-Johnson gets in, Lucas Hedges is out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think that's probably where people are going. That it's it's either going to be Hugh Grant or Lucas Hedges. And actually, I'm looking at our current predictions right now, which are being updated in the moment. And yes, Aaron Taylor-Johnson is in 5th, and Lucas Hedges is down in 6th now.
Yes.
Goodness. So there we
go. And I think that, and that will come back to, will AMPAS receive Nocturnal Animals well when they will already be watching Manchester by the Sea, in theory?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
A few years back.
Yep.
Or Nightcrawler. In that it is a darkish movie, and well, for certain, that category was a lot busier than this one. But anyway, I think right now I still have Lucas Hedges ahead, because I think Manchester by the Sea will be watched by a lot more Academy members than Nocturnal Animals.
Yeah, I kind of keep going back and forth on it. I think I mentioned something in the forums that kind of struck me when looking at this group, and that's that Aaron Taylor-Johnson is the only villain type role, and supporting actor is often a great place that has good villains. Not so much in lead, but in supporting quite a bit.
No, that's for sure. And he has the showiest role, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, if they watch Nocturnal Animals and they are receptive to that, I think he has a great shot of making it in. I just don't know if they will.
Yeah, and then, Taylor-Johnson getting the BAFTA nomination, which was not a surprise to anybody, but it does, it helps him quite a bit.
It certainly doesn't hurt.
It certainly doesn't hurt, yeah. But I'm not sure. For right now, I'm keeping Aaron Taylor Johnson in until we do our final. Oh my God! Final predictions are in less than a week. My goodness. All right, let's talk about the other and truly wonderful surprise that happened, and that was Isabelle Huppert besting Natalie Portman and Amy Adams, and really anybody in her category, and winning for Elle. Because, oh my God, it was practically revolutionary. And that, again, was another situation where, I mean, the Globes have not gone for a foreign language performance in the drama categories since Liv Ullmann, 1972. So there's a lot that's going to happen this year with nominations. It's across the board. There are going to be statistics and records broken and established, or long-standing ones that are just going to drill themselves in and not be budged. I am more excited and curious, I think, about this year's than I have been in a long time. But Isabelle, there are still quite a lot of people who have not boarded the Huppert train yet.
For nomination?
Yeah,
Really?
there really are. There are some pundits who shall be nameless who are still pulling for Annette Bening to somehow, do something. And
Rise
then-
from the ashes.
Yeah, and that's really what it would have to be. But all of us, I'm looking at our predictions right now, all of us are locked in our top 5, and it's been that way for a little while. It was that way, I think, even before the Globes. So I feel like it's pretty solidified right now.
True.
There is the one, oh God, I don't even want to mention her name, but there is the one thing that keeps now itching at me, and that is
Emily Blunt?
the Emily Blunt SAG BAFTA combo. It's killing
If
me.
she knocks Huppert down, I think you better close down Awards Watch for a few days.
Oh, I won't even be able to function at that point if that were to happen. It would be really one of the worst nominations ever. I mean, I get it, it's a juicy character and it's a juicy role. It's just a terrible movie, and it's I don't see the urgency in it. So I don't see how Blunt makes it in. But
Yeah.
her combination
I
of
was-
SAG BAFTA is really good.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was actually one of the few people who thought she was the best thing in a really bad movie, which still doesn't warrant a nomination, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what might happen here and what might help Huppert is that AMPAS does a ranking ballot.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is no way in freaking hell Emily Blunt has more number 1 movies than Isabelle Huppert.
I'm just nervous is all. I don't want to feed it any more than it needs to be. I'm just saying that I'm nervous is all. I mean, there is a a list of people who have SAG and BAFTA and not gotten in, but you can make a pretty decent argument as to why for most of them. So I don't know. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that the list is what it is and that she's not on it. And just say that much for the day. That's what we'll do. All right, let's skip her. Let's just skip her for now. And we'll wrap up the Globes talk with arguably the best award of the night, and that was the last award of the night. Because I think we were all kind of getting a little nervous that Moonlight, which was the most nominated drama, kept going empty-handed throughout the evening. And the normal share the wealth mentality that the Globes have had just went out the window. And actually, it was Elle had the second most wins of any movie that night, if you can imagine that. So when it came down to the last award, Casey Affleck had already won Best Actor, so Manchester had something. Moonlight had nothing at that point. It was kind of a do or die. Which is it going to be? Is it going to be Manchester or Moonlight? And then it was Moonlight. And thank goodness for that, is all I got to say. Because that saved a potentially traumatic award show. And again, it is 93 foreign journalists and not Academy members, but it's an important win.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Regardless. So, all right. Now I think we can move on past the Globes. And let's jump over to these BAFTA nominations, which were quite a mixed bag, and feature highs and lows of movies we just talked about, including Moonlight and Nocturnal Animals. So yeah, Nocturnal Animals got 9 nominations, 9, including Best Director. And Best Actor for Jake Gyllenhaal, which I was like, I guess they really like him, and he does have a BAFTA win, but I mean, even me, the greatest Jake Gyllenhaal lover of all time, was shocked and confused by that nomination. And that the film was able to get all that it did and then still miss out on Best Film was quite surprising.
And it's funny because I kind of go back to my Nightcrawler comparison, because that also did supremely well with BAFTA. They got 4 BAFTA nominations.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just the kind of movie that plays really well with them.
I guess I don't know. It's really hard to.
But it's hard to read. It
is hard to read that the BAFTA and Globes went so much for it. SAG did not, and then as we found out later in the week, PGA and DGA did not either. So it very well could be an outlier here. I think. I have to imagine that it is. But I mean, we'll find out in a week. So the supporting actor lineup at BAFTA looks quite a bit like a lot of our Oscar lineup. It's Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Dev Patel, Hugh Grant, Jeff Bridges, and Mahershala Ali. So Lucas Hedges missed here too. Meaning right now all he has is BFCA and SAG.
True.
So he's definitely, I think realistically he is the one that's on the fence.
I agree.
Which is too bad because for me he's the best part of the movie. I like him a lot.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. He's really good. So BAFTA is another place that La La Land did extremely well. 11 nominations, the most of any film. So I don't really know what more to say about that than that. But Arrival did extremely well. It also got 9 nominations like Nocturnal Animals, including Best Film and Actress. What's that?
The Power of Amy Adams.
The Power of Amy Adams So many deniers, so much of the season that Arrival wasn't going to happen, that Adams wasn't going to happen, and look where we are. Look where we are now. So, there you go. Manchester actually did very well with BAFTA. A little, despite the Lucas Hedges snub, it did a little bit better than I was anticipating. Obviously, it got into actor and supporting actress and screenplay, but also editing and directing. So that was really good for a pretty exclusively American type of movie. Or maybe it's not. I mean, maybe it's more in the Daniel Blake kind of British misery. Maybe that's why it did really well. You put English accents in all of them, and, that would get 10 BAFTA nominations.
No, spare us from White Michelle doing a British accent.
Yeah, I think we've already heard something similar to that, so I don't think we need that again.
We don't.
Speaking of Daniel Blake, that ended up doing some decent nominations. Got screenplay, film, and supporting actress. And director. Excuse me. So, yeah, boy, that director lineup is a little wackadoodle.
It always is.
It almost always is, yes. Gosh. Yeah, okay. What other standouts for you with BAFTA were kind of head scratchers?
Sorry. I don't think I actually had any real head scratchers. I mean, the tags are always hit or miss. Mm-hmm. And makeup and hair was quite something.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really all that surprised by much. Actually, what surprised me the most was the incompetence of the British distributors of Elle. Yes. But that's an entirely different thing.
It is. It is. I don't know. It seemed like it would have been a pretty easy thing to just get it out there before February 10th, but that's all right. Huppert was out doing BAFTA teas and all kinds of, screenings anyway, so it's there. There is crossover voting, so it's not a wasted effort.
Yeah, not at all, but...
What do you make of Denzel Washington being snubbed again? He's never been BAFTA nominated, ever.
Well... Do I really have to say it?
You could say whatever you want to say.
Well, I mean, it's definitely delicious.
All right, well, there we go.
I mean, everyone knows what I'm thinking.
So
for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay, well,
I know you love him, but seriously.
No, like I said it at the beginning of this, that was just a total shock. Like, what the hell nomination?
And at the same time, they really didn't seem to connect to Fences, right? I think it only got Viola.
That's it.
So maybe, but at the same time, the same logic applies to why they didn't like Fences. Was that too American or was that too black?
I don't know, because Hidden Figures didn't exactly, blow them up either.
Yeah.
But, I mean, looking back at the UK release dates for Denzel Washington movies where he's done well awards-wise over here, sometimes there was an issue of eligibility, and that's, perfectly valid.
Oh, yeah.
But not most of the time. So there is a very specific and strange aversion to him because I just don't understand it. It's really weird. And to nominate Viola Davis and then nothing else and not him it just underlines it. So it's just very weird to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't like it. Let's jump over and off of this BAFTA train. Let's hop a boat across the Atlantic and come back to the United States and talk about the Producers Guild.
All right.
Because it was extremely predictable. In fact, I believe I got 10 out of 10. It really was not that hard. And people were shocked by the Deadpool nomination, even though they shouldn't have been, because all you needed to do was read the tea leaves that were right in front of you and knew that it was coming. I mean, it was a movie that was produced for like $60 million, and for a superhero movie that normally costs like $200 million, it earned back like 360. So that is exactly to a T the type of movie that does well with PGA, and certainly classically used to. All the time. There was almost always one major blockbuster or animated film that so outgrossed its production budget that it's the core of what producers do, is trying to find properties that will make money. So
yeah, and just to be clear, that does not mean at all that Deadpool's getting a Best Picture nomination. Just no.
Although it would be terribly funny if it did, instead of like the whole Dark Knight thing, which is the reason the expanded lineup happened.
No.
But no, it's not going to happen. But just to run through really quick the nominees, because these are going to sound an awful lot like what the Oscar Best Picture nominees are going to be like next week. We've got Arrival, Deadpool, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. And if I was a bettor, I think 9 of those 10 are getting Best Picture nominations. It might be 8, but I think it's going to be 9.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, we'll see that when we unveil our final predictions, where I make everybody choose exactly how many films that they think are getting in. But yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be 9.
I usually tend to predict 8 for like a math thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I could totally see 9 happening this year.
Although I think I kept predicting 9 for the last couple of years because it had happened, and then it was like 8. I'm like, okay, I see what you're telling me. So I probably should go for 8, but we'll see. Maybe I will.
And do you think Silence is dead?
I do think Silence is dead. I mean, I know that the branches in the Academy are much, much, much smaller than what we've seen with guilds. Obviously, Producers Guild and Directors Guild are massive, thousands and thousands of members. And the branches in the Academy are in the hundreds. And what it takes to get a nomination is very small. But I don't. I think it's going to end up like Kundun and get maybe a couple of little tech nominations, and that's it. And I'm even worried about that. So,
yeah, I'm with you.
The only thing it's gotten all season, it was the American Society of Cinematographers. That's it. So
true.
And then you match that up against Moonlight and La La Land, or Lion even, and you build by guild. That's how it works. Which you could look up on awardswatch.com. But it's true. I mean, if there's going to be like an outlier, it's going to have to be an American Sniper kind of thing. And really, Hidden Figures kind of did that. Hidden Figures was the American Sniper of this year. The late-breaking movie that was not able to...
It's such a crowd pleaser.
It's a crowd pleaser. It's making a lot of money. Yeah. So that slot's been covered. So sorry, Marty. As much as I love Silence, and I do, it was one of my favorites of last year. But what about, and let's just stay on this PGA a little bit. What about the chance of something strange like last year happening, where The Big Short won instead of The Revenant or Spotlight? Because that was a surprise to everybody.
PGA does preferential, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see La La Land losing. I don't know what would beat it, but I could see La La Land losing.
Yeah, I know all of us are that do this are going to keep looking to last year, and last year is going to be such a thorn in our prediction sides, since 3 different films won the 3 top guilds. It was just like, it was so rare. I don't really think it's going to happen again. I think because it happens once doesn't mean that it's a cycle. So I have a hard time seeing La La Land losing.
I will predict La La Land.
Yeah.
But I won't be surprised if it isn't. But it will be one of those things that makes sense only in hindsight.
Yeah, I think you're right. So what would be the thing to spoil? Manchester, Moonlight, or Hidden Figures?
Hidden Figures would be hilarious.
It really would be.
Maybe Moonlight, because I don't think PGA... Well, it's just some sort of impression, but I don't think PGA is as straight, narrow, pun intended, as the AMPA's usual voters are. I could see Moonlight taking PGA.
That would be pretty intense.
Yes, it would. But I don't think it's happening, just to be clear.
I don't either. And in a way, I kind of don't want it to happen because I don't want to get my hopes up. I would be in tears.
It's true.
Again. Okay, cool. Let's jump over to DGA, because I think for a lot of people there was a big surprise here. And that was Garth Davis in Lion. And I swear, when it happened, the obviousness of it was there, and I was kicking myself in the butt. Because if you look at the Gold Rush Gang predictions for like most of summer and all the fall, I had Lion and Garth Davis top 5. Like the whole time up to November, I think, and then pulled it out for December because it just was that opening release of Box Office was really middling. The reviews were good, not great, and it just, combined with how terrible a year the Weinstein Company had, I was like, okay, well, this is the year that nothing is going to happen for them. Period. And then here we are, PGA and DGA.
Yeah. And Lion has, last year, when the man who directed Room, I forgot his name.
Lenny Abramson.
Yes, when Lenny Abrams was nominated, we were joking at the forums that there was this main rule for predicting the director at the Oscars.
Yes.
And that was, did he direct a child? Is the performance adorable? If so, predict him.
But that was the thing that was so wild about him getting into DGA first.
Yes!
Because that flipped that rule. I would have been much more inclined to predict Davis for the Oscar before DGA.
Exactly. That was so weird.
But here he is.
But now I have to predict him for the Oscars.
Yes.
I just have to.
And also, he received 2 nominations that day. The main one, but also first-time director. It was a bit gilding the lily for him, but yeah, he received 2 nominations for the same film.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was the only previous DGA nominee of the lineup. This was, if I did my history correct, it had not happened since 1999.
Wow.
Yeah, every year since then, somebody in the DGA lineup is a previous nominee. So this is, again, like I said earlier, this is going to be a year of just records and statistics that we can just
throw out the window.
Yeah, which is good. Every year there is, and I'm glad, because I rely too much on statistics, we need more gut. We need more instinct.
Yes.
But I'm pretty stoked to see that that the lineup is all first comers and or first timers and newcomers. There we go. And this could be the lineup at Oscars, but that also seems pretty unlikely because
I think it could happen. It has a good chance of happening.
It does have a good chance. It hasn't since 2009, but it's a good chance.
Yes.
I mean, right now this is my 5.
Mine as well.
It's a safe prediction.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel pretty good about that.
Famous last words.
I know. So let me ask you. This is based on the Globe wins and all of these BAFTA, PGA, DGA, and everything this week. Has anything dramatically changed your predictions?
Dramatically. Well, silence is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much all over the place on my predictions a while back.
Yeah.
Actress definitely consolidated.
Mm-hmm.
Actor most likely as well. Though I have a weird feeling that Viggo Mortensen might be snubbed, like after getting everything.
For who?
I don't know. It's just one of those feelings.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Sure, go ahead.
You know, it's totally like me to have a freak out at the end and like throw somebody in. But oh my goodness, if this still stands by the time this podcast is released, if you go to the Gold Rush Gang actor in a leading role lineup, all 10 of us have the same 5 in exactly the same spot. I have not seen this since we started doing this 3 years ago. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Casey Affleck, Denzel Washington, Ryan Gosling, Andrew Garfield, Viggo Mortensen. I should just lock it right now. That's pretty amazing that we're all that unified. That's impressive.
Okay.
It means something's wrong.
It's gonna be Viggo Mortensen. Don't ask me why, but it is.
But he got BAFTA too.
I know, but who was it? Michael Shannon got BAFTA too, and was his snub last year.
Yes, but everybody that got BFCA, Golden Globe, SAG, and BAFTA got in last year. All of them.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a feeling.
And that was after 4 years of somebody missing out with all of that.
Yeah,
So,
maybe.
we'll see. We'll see.
Oops.
Yeah, I think the things that changed up my predictions the most were definitely the the resurgence of Lion. That really made me kind of happy that my early instinct was correct, and then made me hit myself for second guessing myself. So I am back in the fold of Davis and Lion being top 5 contenders.
I don't know, because if I had seen Lion before, I might be more certain about it. Because it's not a great movie, but it's probably the most I've cried in a bad movie since Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
Oh my God.
So I think it might really resonate with people.
I think it will. I think it's a really good movie. I like it very, very much. And I think it's extremely effective.
The kid's cute.
That kid that kid is amazing, and yeah.
But I don't know, the movie is a bit too long for me.
Okay.
It needed a bit more editing. But it's okay. It's not as bad as the Incredibly Loud and whatever Close.
Nothing is that bad.
Fair enough.
That's a horrible movie. Let's see, what else do we have? Looks like we're all really getting solid too with our supporting actress. That's now down to 5. Okay, yeah.
Is Stone happening for sure, in your opinion?
Is Emma Stone winning?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so as well.
I've had her winning since goddamn I don't even know how long ago.
Yeah, I mean,
When
I've always
people were
thought,
just thinking that Portman was gonna happen, and it's not gonna happen.
I mean, honestly, she should happen, because what she does is a lot better than whatever Emma Stone's doing in La La Land, but she's not losing. I mean, Natalie Portman lost to Isabelle Huppert,
yeah,
which shouldn't have happened if she was winning an Oscar.
no. I love that the Globes decided to make a really strong statement in with that win, and kept her in the conversation. Because she's not SAG and BAFTA nominated, so she's going to be missing out on 2 televised, award shows. But goddamn, if she's not going to be there, Michael Barker is going to get her at all of these parties.
She will present if she has to.
I mean, really, she's not going away. So
the sad thing is that I think she could totally win BAFTA, and if she had both Globes and BAFTA, she could beat Emma Stone at the Oscars. But
I don't think she would be able to still, honestly.
I think she would. I honestly think she could. If she became some sort of undeniable thing, Because Emma Stone right now is being dragged along on the strength of her movie. And I think if we had a really powerful performance that was being recognized not only by the critics but by the televised awards, and by more than one televised award, I think she could happen.
Well, I disagree that Stone's being dragged along by La La Land being the front runner, because she fits the mold of a very traditional AMPAS Best Actress winner, more so than anybody else in her lineup.
More so than Portman? No way.
Yes, absolutely more than Portman.
No way. And Portman's playing Jackie Kennedy. That's as AMPAS baity as it gets.
The most common age of a Best Actress winner is 29 years old. And Emma Stone's like 28.
I'm talking about the role, not about her age. If Portman didn't have an Oscar, she would be for sure happening for this movie.
Maybe if it was a first time, yes.
Yes.
Because Jackie is so massively underperforming.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good point as well.
If we...
But you don't need a good movie or you don't need a well-accepted movie to win Best Actress.
Yeah. I think if we were in a alternate universe and Jackie came first and performed like it did, Portman would be able to probably still win. And then Black Swan came later and was a Best Picture, Best Director nominee and all that. She would be able to then win a second. But not in this order.
Yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, Stone's winning.
Stone's winning, yeah. I don't see realistic arguments for anybody else.
Yeah, me neither.
So, but I can't exactly say that with 100%, assurance, while saying earlier in the podcast that we're going to see all kinds of broken records and statistics and all that. So I can't talk out two sides of my face.
Sure you can.
I mean, I can, but it would make me an asshole. So
fair enough.
I just think she's going to win.
Yeah, she is.
So.
I mean, at least Fools Who Dream is nice.
I love that song, and I love her in that. That's why she's going to win, though, because
exactly.
People are accusing her performance of being too light, but I'm like, did you not see?
Oh no, she as much as I think she shouldn't, she at least justifies her win in that scene.
Absolutely, it's her, whatever.
Oscar moment.
It's her Anne Hathaway, Les Mis. Whatever. But yes. So I think that's really just the major things that have switched up my predictions. I'm not going crazy with this Nocturnal Animals stuff. I don't even think I have it in adapted screenplay. I don't. Do I have it in? I have it in cinematography, which I think is really possible. But that's cinematography and supporting actor. I think that's it. That doesn't seem right. Goodness. Oh. It should get into costume design. That would be awesome. And score.
Costume design.
I would love to see that.
I don't think so.
Ariane Phillips was nominated for the Madonna movie. She can make it in for Nocturnal Animals. My lord.
Well, if Amy Adams were Madonna, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe Amy Adams should play Madonna for a little.
Excuse me. Well, I know it's been less than an hour, but I think we might do a very, very short podcast this time.
Because we are all dying here.
Yeah, I mean,
no, honestly, people should understand our sacrifice to bring this podcast to Awards Watch in a timely manner.
It's true. What you don't know is that I have been sick all week with 100-degree fever since Tuesday. And I am not dead. I'm here.
Yes.
For my craft and my art and for the people. Oh my god. I feel more like Joan Crawford in bed trying to accept her Oscar. But yeah, okay.
Amazing.
I was, oh my god, when like all of these, the Guild stuff was coming out, I was literally in bed with my laptop in sweatpants and a sweater and like 6 blankets trying to type furiously away and not die. It was horrible. It was the worst. I was dying. But it's because I love you all so much. Okay, so do you have any final thoughts, Julia?
Actually, just one thing, because it came up at the forums. People should consider that you can like a performance and not predict it, and you can dislike a performance and it's still be completely sure it's going to win. And saying you don't like something is completely different than saying it has no shot. So think about that before starting fights over the best actress thread.
Oh, you mean it's possible to be objective and not a total lunatic, is what you're saying?
Well, I know, shocking, but yes.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Um, okay, yeah. Oh, good. This was kind of a quick podcast, and it'll
As it
be just
was.
a nice a little zippy listen. Um, so there's going to be one more podcast before the Oscar nominations come out. Those are coming out on January 24th. So we will record one next weekend with our final predictions. But of course, you can always go to awardswatch.com and look at the Gold Rush Gang predictions as they're done and updated live. They'll be locked in before nomination morning, of course, but you can see any changes that happen this week. So don't forget to go to awardswatch.com and follow us on Twitter at awards_watch and like us on Facebook and Instagram and all of that wonderful stuff. And if you want to talk about Best Actress or Best Picture or anything like that, jump in the forums and dive into the conversation. It's swampy and dirty and nasty sometimes,
It's fun.
but it's still really fun, yes. I think that's about it. Julie, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.